Of course, you know the person most widely considered to be the most progressive senator is Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
So a natural question is, why not back him during the 2016 primaries if you two are the closest aligned in policy?
So look, I think that our primary, I thought was a good thing, and I thought it was good that Bernie was out there, that Hillary was out there. They were giving two different visions. They were out there through all the states. I thought it put both energy on our side. I'll tell you something else I thought it did. It made me proud to be a Democrat. You know, while the Republicans were doing their clown car thing, you know, with who was going to be voted off the island, and then of course ended up with a reality star as their standard bearer. I was proud of what Democrats were out there talking about. I thought it was the right thing to do. And in the end, when it was time, I went out there and fought once it was resolved to try to get Hillary elected, and I would have done the same for Bernie, no doubt about it.
Do you get why some progressives are still mad about that? That Massachusetts was decided by 1.3 points, Iowa was decided by 0.3, that perhaps he could have helped him put him over the top, and then he would have won Iowa, New Hampshire,
Look,
Massachusetts.
And there are people who see it the other way.
Yeah.
You know, for me, I think about it this way. There is nothing the Republicans would love better than for us to stand around and shoot at each other over and relitigate what happened in 2016. I look at what's happening in Washington right now. I look at what Donald Trump wants to do on health care and the Republican majority in Congress wants to do. I look at this new budget they've put out. I look at what's happening right now in the connections with Russia. And I say, God, we got to get focused here. And we got to focus on what Donald Trump is going to do in the next 24 hours, the next week, the next month. That's where we need our energy.
I also understand that, but primaries are important, as you say. Sure. You really enjoy the fact that there was a strong primary and a discussion of ideas. Yeah. You know, I'm going to skip the standard question about if you're going to run. You've got a book out, et cetera, right? And we understand what people think that means. Yeah. Okay. But if you don't run,
you do know this is my 11th book.
I know that. I know
that. Books are how I argue.
No, I understand that.
Okay, good.
I'm skipping that question.
Okay. Okay.
What I'm asking is, if you don't run, do you think this time around that you will have a more forceful opinion in the primaries? Because that is when people will decide who our standard bearer is. Their standard bearer is the reality show star.
Yeah.
And our standard bearer will either be a progressive or someone who is more beholden to donors.
Yeah.
Or someone in between. So if, for example, Bernie Sanders were to run again, if you're not running, would you support him?
You know, I don't know where we'll be in 2020. It's a long time off. I supported and helped Bernie long before I ever thought I'd be in politics. I used to go up, went up to do town halls with Bernie to talk about what was happening to working families. I used to call in on Bernie's when he had a radio show for a period of time. But I don't know where we'll be in 2020. I don't think Bernie knows where we'll be in 2020. So I don't know what Bernie's going to do, and I don't want to be in a position to push Bernie to do anything. What I see right now really is that as Democrats, as progressives, we can't make politics a once every 4-year thing. It has got to be an everyday thing. Donald Trump has not been in office, 150 days yet? It's less than that. He's got a long, long time to go, or at least the Republicans do. Republican majority in the House, Republican majority in the Senate. The way I see it is, man, we got to be all in on the fights that are occurring right now, the things they're doing right now. I worry because it's healthcare, because it's this budget. I worry about what's happening over the Environmental Protection Agency. I worry about what's happening at the Department of Education, and how we need to exercise oversight. And I want to use oversight not just in a technical Washington sense, but in a democratic, small d democratic sense, that we watch, that we ask our government, we demand that our government be responsive to us. But that means being focused on the fights that are in front of us right now. We cannot sit back and just start the speculation on what's going to happen.